been a while since I've done one of these videos, and thought it was maybe about time that I did. And we're going to have a look at some of the new releases for Infinity and whether or not they'll be worth getting or not. So let's, without further ado, have a look at stuff that might be good for Christmas. Yay. Jesus. First of all, we're going to have a look at one of the repacks. Actually, it's the only repack this month, and that's the JSA Oban Expansion Pack Alpha. Right, this one's going to be including the Kuroshi Rider, which is the girl on the bike. It has... it's going to have the Ryuken with the heavy rocket launcher, and it's going to have the Kempei Tai with the boarding shotgun. If you are collecting JSA and you specifically want to be collecting JSA Oban, which is it's basically my main army that I have in Infinity. I have the most models for. I've almost got the entire collection of JSA Oban. We're going to talk a little bit about whether you want this pack or not. So one of the models in this set is a must-have, must-take, gotta take it, and that is the Ryuken with the heavy rocket launcher. This guy almost always ends up in my lists. He gets camouflage, and he's got a decoy. He's got mimetism -6, and on top of that, he's got a heavy rocket launcher. I mean, what's not to love about that as a horrible ARO piece for your opponent? Many opponents have rued the day against my Ryuken, and yeah, it's a great model. So that one is, for me, a must-have model if you're getting Oban. He's a fantastic mini. Now, the Kuroshi Rider is one that you may take. I think it's actually quite fun to take this one. I do take her on occasion. And if I do take her, I often take her as the lieutenant as well. And what I like about her is that she brings the smoke grenade launcher. So fielding her on the bike as a specialist as well, because she's forward observer. So she's actually a button pusher that can push buttons pretty much first turn. If you start speeding her up the field with smoke launchers covering her way. You also pair her up with your Jimbo, and your Jimbo's knocking out smokes as well. So there's just smoke. You can just smoke up the entire field, send your heavy infantry Domaru down the line without worrying about being shot, as long as the opponent doesn't have any MSV, and then get into close combat. So I quite like having her from time to time, but she's going to die. She's definitely going to die. So, if you're going to be bringing her as a lieutenant, you've then got to bring the Kempei Tai with the boarding shotgun with chain of command, so that when she definitely dies, you don't go into loss of lieutenant and you've got your Kempei Tai. So, I think having the Kuroshi Rider in the box set, you have to have the Kempei in the box set as well. Otherwise, you don't have a clear chain of command model to survive her. So I think that makes sense as a set. It's pretty good. The Ryuken is a definite. Kempei Tai is pretty popular to put in your army as a chain of command piece. And the Kuroshi Rider is situational, I'd say, at best. But it's still a nice little set. I would recommend it if you're getting into Oban. I like using all of those models. Kuroshi Rider is more kind of for fun. Maybe not so serious lists sometimes, but she has her uses from time to time. Alright, so now we get lots of new models. Yippee! One of them being the Anaconda TAG. And this guy looks amazing. And so along with the Anaconda, you're also getting the Operator as well. So you're getting the TAG model and also the Operator model as well, which I think is a really nice set that they're doing the tags and the operative. That's fantastic. And with the Anaconda, it's a fairly cheap tag at 59 points. I think you're usually looking at tags ranging from 60 to 80, so it's still in that lower tier of tag pricing, but gives you an order plus tactical awareness as well. So he's bringing those extra orders in for your army, and you get a couple of choices for loadouts. You got the AP Spitfire or the heavy machine gun. Both also come with a few other bits of equipment differences. So the AP Spitfire also comes with a heavy flamethrower with +1 burst, and also the Thunderbolt AP, so you can do some long range shooting as well. The other option is heavy machine gun with a light shotgun with +2 burst. So it's like a 4 burst light shotgun. I've not been having a lot of luck with light shotguns, even with extra burst recently, so I'm not too fond of that myself. Your mileage might differ, and it comes with a Panzerfaust as well. My interest is definitely in the AP Spitfire option, as that becomes a little bit of a tag hunter, as the AP is going to halve your opponent's armor when you're shooting at it. So he's going to become a little bit more effective at taking those heavy armored targets down. It's pretty cool. What's really special about the Anaconda, though, is it has an escape system. So after it's taken 2 structure points, the pilot inside is going to escape from the tag as it goes into shutdown. You drop down an Eclipse grenade, switch out the models, and you've got the operator running. The operator isn't bad as well, with a average BS skill of 12, but also carrying a Spitfire and a smoke grenade launcher, and also being a specialist operative. That means you can start using her as a button pusher as well to score your objectives. So I think it's a pretty good model. I quite like it, and if I was running a mercenary outfit, I would go for the Anaconda. The design of the model is absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I think it's really, really good. I think since about the time like the Shakush came out for Hak Islam for tags, you started to see this new kind of style of design for the tags, and a lot of them have been really, really good, especially the ones which are updating some really old models that definitely were showing a bit of age. This is a lovely update to the Anaconda, because the old one still looked a little bit off. This one, fantastic. Absolutely love it, and I really love the operative as well. So even just as models to have, they're lovely. But if you are running a mercenary outfit, great model. I like it. We also have the Zeybek Aero unit for Hak Islam. This is their flyer, and it's definitely my favorite flyer of all of the ones that have been released so far in terms of its look, just because it's got that Hak Islam Dune look with the ornithopter style about it. I think it's just an awesome model, and this one also comes with its pilot as well, the Zeybek operator, which is a nice little set. I think they're really, really cool models. Very, very nice. I think the model, the unit itself in game, to me, is a steal for the price. I could be wrong, but I think for 33 points, 1.5 SWC, of course, because it's got an AP Spitfire, this thing is freaking good. Very, decent BS of 13 with an AP Spitfire, so it can hunt things down. It's got albedo -6, so this thing is an MSV hunter, because not only do you have the albedo -6 on there, so if MSV is shooting at you, they're on a -6, but if you do any kind of BS attack or a dodge, you're putting -3 on the opponent's roll, which means this is like getting mimetism without any of the negatives of mimetism, because most of your reactions or short orders are probably going to be a BS attack or a dodge when someone else is AROing at you. And so both of these are going to be putting -3 on the opponent, which is basically a mimetism, but it gets around MSV. So MSV units, if you attack this Zeybek, you're going to be rolling on a -9, and that's before doing any range modifiers or anything like that. That's pretty insane to me. So the Zeybek, definitely an MSV hunter. Fantastic model for that. And it also has an escape system. So after it takes 2 structure points of damage, the Zeybek operator will be fielded and replaced with that model, as well as an Eclipse template going down. And I can't believe it. The Zeybek operator profile on its own looks really good, because it still keeps the albedo -6. It has BS attack -3, and with the AP, not with an AP Spitfire, just a regular Spitfire. But even with a regular Spitfire, you're probably going to be returning fire quite a bit. So that's going to be putting a -9 on anything with MSV. They have courage, and they're a specialist operative. They got stealth, terrain total. it's a really good profile. And armor 3 as well for this infantry unit. At 33 points, I think this is a steal. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but the Zeybek feels to me like you just want to take it. So especially if you're expecting any MSV from your opponent, this thing's going to hunt it down very efficiently. Really think this is a cool unit and would love to have it in my Haq Islam. I would love to run it. It's to me, it's a freaking awesome model. Both visually and on the table, I think. All right, that gets us to our last and probably most important release, and that is Achilles. Achilles is being released finally for Next Wave. I say finally for Next Wave. It's still fairly early on in the Next Wave release schedule. And the model is... On the renders, I didn't really like the model so much, but seeing it painted, I do think it's a pretty cool model. I was looking at the price, certainly here in Japan, and it seems to be quite an expensive S2 unit. I know he's a bit chunkier than others, but still a little bit expensive. But I'm still probably gonna get him because I'm really liking Next Wave, and you gotta have Achilles, right? You just gotta. And of course, he's a beast. He's basically an S2 tag, but obviously with lesser armor. That's the only thing that's really weak about him is this armor 3. He could get dinked pretty easily, but he's got the nano screen to keep him up, so he can just keep running, and he's always got cover. And he's got that AP Spitfire or the plasma rifle loadout. The plasma rifle loadout also has the X visor, which is pretty handy. I quite like the plasma rifle loadout. I think that's going to be quite good. So I'd probably be running with that one if I run either of them. And yeah, he's just a beast, a bit of a beast. And obviously at 60 odd points, he's an expensive model to have. However, I don't want to run him in my army with only Achilles being released so far, plus Pandora, of the special characters for Next Wave. I feel like if you're going to be running Achilles in your army, you're going to be running some sort of Achilles fire team, and he runs best with one of his buddies. So I'm very interested in seeing all of his team being released. I don't know if they're going to be released in a box set and you get a whole bunch of his buddies in a box set. That would be kind of nice just to get them and be done. But I definitely see myself running him with Patroclus, getting the smoke up there to help cover your approach. Possibly... then putting a gearhead into that to make a Harris. You still get the +1 special dice, which is kind of the important bonus that you get by having those two models in there, and the gearhead in there to protect the heavy infantry from hacking. I think that's probably the most solid way of running Achilles. That's the way I want to try running him anyway. I also really want to get some of the other models that are going to be coming out, because I think they'll be really fun to play with in Next Wave. But right now, great to have Achilles out, but I don't think he's a necessary buy until the rest of his team comes out, because Achilles only links really well in a fire team with his buddies, with him as the leader. So until those other models come out, I can't really say that I'm going to be running him. I will probably pick up the model though and get him painted up ready for when his buddies get released as well. But very cool model, and I think you get a nice option of running the model with a sword or with the AP Spitfire. I think I'm going to be doing it with the sword one, because I think that's kind of cooler, and it means when I choose to do plasma rifle or AP Spitfire, it's not too confusing for my opponent that is like, hey, he's got a big AP Spitfire in his hand. I know Infinity's all... you can run any kind of model as anything, but I still kind of like that aesthetically, to see if he's got an AP Spitfire in his hand, he's probably going to be carrying an AP Spitfire. If he's got a sword, it could be an AP Spitfire or a plasma rifle. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's also just my my preference is there. Anyway, those are the releases for December. I'm pretty excited for a few of those. They're very nice models. And I know my friend's going to be probably picking up an Anaconda. I think they're getting Scarface as well for their mercenary companies. So we'll probably be seeing that at our gaming events at some time. And yeah, it's looking like a nice little Christmas is coming for Infinity with some really cool models there. Which ones are you going to be interested in getting? Which ones do you think are going to be playing well on the table? Which ones are going to probably just leave behind? All right, let me know in the comments. Lovely to chat with you. I know it's been a while. Sorry for my absence. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.